Hello. This week we have mid-week madness, MLS Matchday 16 coming at you on Wednesday. We have, I think, 13 total games. We have bets in all but 3 of them. So I think we're covering 10 matches today on today's show. Let's get into it. If you're listening live, thank you so much for being here. Make sure you drop a comment. Anything you say, we're pulling right up. So join the discussion. Make sure you hit that bell icon, hit that subscribe. I get the statistics, and over half of our viewers are not subscribed. Click that button. That's going to help us so much, bring you content like this each and every week. We are hours away from monetizing on YouTube, so sorry for the ad you're going to watch next week, but that's all good for us. Thank you for being here. Week 16 is a midweek with a lot of weird plays. The good news is, shooting just one day before, we have the injury report already, so we'll talk about those when they come up. Of course, I'm throwing numbers in my sportsbook model and, coming up with a lot of what we think are some pretty good plays for you. Let's first just briefly recap last week. We had some mixed results. Alex not playing on the week. The show was just in the negative, 0.04 units in the minus. I had a 3-3 week with a plus 0.31 units. Scott plus 2.65 units with a huge couple plus money plays, including the over 3.5 on Union and Miami. Let's see if he goes back to that well again. Deon, tough week, -3, which puts him at negative units on the season, minus exactly 3. But hey, that's easy to turn around. We're going to fix that hopefully this week. On the season, I'm in the league. 10.52 units in the plus. Deon minus 6.6. Alex and Scott just about evening each other out with a small plus and a small minus there. Overall, we've talked about 246 wagers, and we are up 3.66 units on the season. Let's get into the first match. We're not betting on Atlanta-Orlando. We all looked at that and said, nope. And then we're not betting on FC Cincinnati versus FC Dallas. I just think that the sportsbook was spot on. We all like Cincy, so you just couldn't find a way to make money. But this one, we are going to find a few ways to make money here. DC United, 1-1-1 in their last 3 home matches when the Revs. They have 3 straight draws in a row, but there are 3 wins, 2 draws, and 0 losses in their last 5 road matches. They're in a fantastic road form. Taking a look here, this is a Wednesday match at Audi Field. Odds show DC United plus 130 or the New England Revolutions at plus 190 if you like that bet. If you want to bet the over-under, minus 124 for over 2.5 goals, plus 102 for under 2.5 goals. This is a match I truly think could go either way. Deon's got one official bet, but I was wondering what Scott thought about this match. DC Revs, 2 teams we've made some good money on this year.
Yeah, I do have a thought. I have a lean. DC is a team that is in bad form. We don't really know what they're about. They're not the things that they used to do well. They aren't doing that well this year. The Revolution are a team that we thought would be worse than they have been, and actually they have been on upward trends. They're showing, signs of life. They're starting to crank out some results. I wouldn't go as far as calling them good, but better than DC. And so I think there's a real chance for the Revolution to get a result out of this game. I think the only thing I'd want to look at is Christian Benteke playing? Is he back yet?
He's out.
He's out.
Yeah, then you
do know.
I don't like anything about this DC team.
I don't either. We're going to check the chat really quickly, like I promised. Billy Franklin saying over 2.5. I don't love that pick just because you're getting minus money. And the Revolution defense could keep DC United from scoring. So even if Revolution find the net twice, you're not guaranteed to hit that over. It's a very risky bet. But if you like it, you like it. I definitely understand a reason for making that. Angus, maybe St. Louis. Yeah, they're not playing midweek. but they will be playing this weekend. We'll see if they get that little coach bump. Not looking ahead to see who they're playing. They're playing San Jose in what could be kind of a tricky matchup there for them. Thanks for guys for tuning in and bringing those comments up. Deon, now that your face is done being hidden by our graphics of the names being pulled up, let us know your official play here.
Yeah, so my official play, kind of with you, Scott, have to lean towards the Revs. So I went with the Revs, but also safety net with the Revs draw no bet at 110. And the main reason is Benteke's out. Yes, the Revs have a handful of guys out on injury, but I just think Revs are in pretty good form. I really don't like what I see from DC too often. So going with the Revs in this one, draw no bet.
I love
if
it.
If you could promise me Campana, I would be on this side with you.
But he's out.
Yeah. Can't join you there. Scott, sorry, what were you saying? I was talking over you.
So apologies. I should say the Revs are unbeaten in their last 5. I really like where you're going. Yeah, it's 3 straight draws, but 2 of those are like 3-3s against one is against Orlando, who's a really good team, and one against SKC, who's not a really good team, but they are wild. So I don't know. The Revs haven't shown me anything recently that would make me that worried about this.
A tough point for me is going to be that like 80% of the country is going to be covered in rainstorms on Wednesday night. The 2 highest attackers, Benteke is not going to be in, Campana is not going to be in. Will Sands for New England Revolution, incredible player for them. So that leaves kind of a question mark in their back line. It's going to be a no for me, but Deanna has one official play. Good luck. I do love the reasoning behind what has DC done in the last 3 months. To be giving a team a draw no bet at plus money, I don't like that at all. So I like what Deon is attacking here. Love the logic here. Moving on, we're going to take Inter Miami hosting CF Montreal. And I got to pull my notes up as soon as my dog stops barking. Inter Miami, they are 0 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses in their last 4. They're looking to get right. But Montreal, they are off a 2-2 home draw versus LAFC. Not in great form. You see there, only 1 win on the season. When you look at the odds, heavy in Inter Miami's favor. Minus 240 if you want to bet the home team. Plus 380 for the draw and plus 500 for the away odds. This is one of those that, like, if you just like midweek chaos, maybe worth sprinkling like a cup of coffee on CF Montreal just because you're getting such a great price. Over 2.5 unbettable at minus 205. But we do have 2 official plays, Scott and Alex. Alex, why don't you throw over to you first?
Yeah, I can't see Inter Miami losing this game. They haven't been in good form. Rumors of Cristiano Ronaldo signing a 30-day contract for FIFA World Cup, I think, is insane. Let's dismiss that. That's not going to happen. This is more about Montreal being not really good, and Inter Miami is due for a result, especially at home. So I went with something unconventional to get some better odds. I took the Montreal. I took Inter Miami to win the first half and win the game, and with plus whatever I wrote there. I'm sorry.
Plus 115 for Miami.
There you go. There, yeah, that's the only way I could find a plus odds of finding Inter Miami to win somehow. So I think they're going to jump on them early. Listen, they will win this game. Masciano, I think, is in big trouble. So I think they're going to win this game. I really do, and I think they should win the first half. They should win the game. Messi or not, I know Suarez is not there. I'm not really worried about it. It's more about Montreal not being that good and Inter Miami due for a big victory at home.
I agree, and I think Miami has that depth that we've been talking about to really take these midweek matches. Should be where they thrive. However, for Montreal, if they rotate a whole bunch of guys, they become an unknown because they're so bad with the same guys all the time. Maybe the bench is going to add a little something, a little juice there. Scott, you have the second official play in this match.
I do. I agree with Alex. I don't see Miami losing this game, but minus 240 is not doing it.
That's why I couldn't find anything. I tried to figure, and I've never bet that. I've never done this kind of bet before. It's like, you know what? Let's hope they jump on them early, and that's why I'm going to get a plus odds on this.
So the thing that I started looking at is just like the stats. How many goals per Miami game? Well, that's 3.6 goals per Miami game. That's a lot. Montreal is only like 2.4, but that's because their offense is terrible. They've scored 10 goals all season. but they've conceded 25 times this year. Their defense is bad. So I took an over. I took over 3.5. Over 3.5. And that put me at plus 120. And yeah, okay, I'm gonna need something to happen to push that a little bit to get that fourth goal. But Miami's defense, yeah, a little bit
Not
better.
so good.
Not
so
perfect.
good. Yeah.
A little better than last season, but not perfect. And they don't do well with really direct play. They let in 3 just last week. And so there's opportunity there for Montreal to actually get one. And if Montreal gets one, then yeah, I think this hits, I think, rather easily. So over 3.5.
If Montreal gets a win here, it's because of Sirois and because of the gap in talent between him and Ustari. Calendar stood on his head for Miami at points last year, and Ustari was fantastic for like 3 games, but I think it's time that Miami might look for something else going on between the sticks there.
I think they will. He's very accident prone. By the way, Luis Suarez played in the midweek, and so he is back.
Yep, he is. Looking like a clean health report for both teams, minor injuries. So we're going to move on with 2 official plays. Scott over 3.5 goals at plus 120, and Alex Miami halftime full-time at plus 115. Heading now to, I believe it's Yankee Stadium. These are auto-generated now, so if we have NYCFC at Citi Field, you're going to get some wrong information on the show. We will check that as we go. But NYCFC, 7 wins, 3 draws, 5 losses, and the Houston Dynamo, 4 wins, 5 draws, and 6 losses on the season. This is another one of those crazy Wednesday midweek games. Let's take a look at the odds here. NYCFC minus 120 home favorites, Houston Dynamo plus 310 on the road. Over under 2.5 goals. Over is minus 122, and the under is plus 100. We know why that is. It's because Houston Dynamo doesn't really score. And that's kind of has a big part in my handicap here. I have the only official play. Does anyone else have any thoughts on this match before I jump into it?
NYCFC should win this. Just flat out. NYCFC should win this. They are the team that is more informed. They are the team that is more aligned with their strategy and their formation and all of that, their identity. Houston just lacks the quality to be able to make stuff happen when they really need it to happen.
Absolutely, and I took exactly that. I'm taking NYCFC at minus 120. New York, they are fantastic at home. They are not traveling.
I took the over, by the way, Bob. I don't know if you saw that, Bob. I took the over on this, over 2.5 at minus 115.
I did not see that. It's not on the graphic, but it will be on the final card that we throw up at the end of the show. New York, yeah, fantastic at home. They're not traveling, and in fact, they're not traveling this weekend either. The Dynamo, they are traveling. They were just at Dallas. They only have 1 road win on the season, and they're missing players like Ponce, who's suspended. They have injuries up and down the field. I think this one is pretty straightforward, and I'm taking NYCFC at minus 120. It's about as low as I'll go on the odds train, but I just think that this is a slam dunk. 2 teams that don't play each other very often, historically more defensive, lower scoring, and that's kind of how it's played out. Alex, you see things a little differently in the scoring department.
I'm thinking the rain. I'm thinking Houston junk on the road. I like NYCFC. I always like looking at NYCFC when they're home. I'm expecting some goals. I wouldn't be surprised if NYCFC scores 3 goals themselves in this game. So I think the over 2.5 on this.
Love it. That over of 2.5 is going to put you at minus 115. So you're taking a negative hit. If you like over, if you like NYCFC, those plays can play together. We generally see higher scoring games going to the home team and those, unpredictable 1-0 games going to the away side. 2 official plays, myself, NYCFC minus 120. Sir Alex, minus 115 on the over of 2.5 goals.
Yep.
Next, we head to see the New York Red Bull Sports Illustrated Stadium. Red Bull 6-3-6, just about 500. Charlotte 7-1-7, kind of towing that same line there. If we look at the odds, we have Red Bull at home -135, Charlotte +340, +270 for the draw, if that is your preference. Over 2.5 goals -128, and under 2.5 goals +104. Very interesting. This is the second match in a row where like the home team and the over of 2.5 goals are really close, within like 6 points of each other here. I believe I have the only official play, but Scott, you look like you're deep in thought. You're also muted.
Oh, that's very embarrassing for me. I'm sorry. It's because I need a drink. I needed a drink of water earlier. No, I have deep in thought, but it's mostly because I want to know what Deon thinks of this game. That was literally what I was thinking about.
You were wondering what I was thinking?
Yeah.
I mean, on this one, I would have a lean to the Red Bulls because in the 4 matches that they have played there in New York between these two sides, Charlotte has yet to win. They have 1 draw, 3 losses.
I was going to bring that up. Nice job. Yeah, I know historically Charlotte has a hard time playing at Red Bull Arena.
Yeah. So that's I would lean towards the Red Bulls, but I didn't find anything that I liked to bet. But I would the one was at -135. I don't think I could go with that. So maybe if you could pair it with something, which I believe, Bob, that is what you did. But I would lean towards the Red Bulls in this one.
That is what I did. One official play. Red Bull double chance and over 2.5 goals. Both teams are on pretty light travel. Red Bull, they're the team with the depth. They have the academy. They have young guys coming out everywhere. And at 9 out of the 11 guys on this roster, you can put anyone up to the 15-year-olds on the field, and you're going to get a similar result. Charlotte, they have 4 defenders out. Cambridge, Tim Ream, Byrne. They have Brent Bronico suspended. Red Bull is not necessarily healthier, but they're deeper. They have younger guys, younger legs, and they're not missing so many important players to their squad. As much as I like to, clown on Brent Bronico every chance I get, he's an important player on this team right now. So I think that Red Bull double chance and over 2.5 goals. I do see goals. This one really could go either way, but I think there's just going to be enough exposure out there, enough holes being left open, maybe a little confusion of assignments in Charlotte's back line. So I'm going to go with double chance and over 2.5 goals. Alex, you did not bet on this. What are your thoughts on Red Bull Charlotte this weekend? Is it just
again? Charlotte, I know has trouble playing at New York. Again, the Red Bulls, to me, I'm still not. I don't like what I've seen so far this season. I don't trust this game at all. This to me smells trap game to me. I'm not touching it because it's midweek. I just don't like it. I'm just not touching it.
Every single game of Charlotte's in the last 5 games has hit the over, and pretty comfortably. Most of them have been 4 or more.
Zaha's been doing nothing. Imagine if he ever starts clicking.
Yeah. I mean, I would really argue the opposite side of that. I think Zaha's been doing a lot. It's just not scoring goals. Last week he had 2 assists. He was dealing the ball left and right and getting on the score sheet maybe another way than is expected. But your point stands. Zaha, Pep Biel, and then a bunch of role players.
Yeah.
Ajiman.
Also fantastic.
There's some nice players in that Charlotte squad.
I like Ajiman. You know what I mean? I've liked him since I've seen him. I like that big physical presence up front. I'm expecting big things from him in the Gold Cup, but that's another story another time.
All right, let's move right along. The next matchup is between Toronto and the Philadelphia Union, a game that Toronto, I'm sure, is not too excited to be hosting. 3 wins, 4 draws, 8 losses. Philadelphia Union, 9 wins, 3 draws, and 3 losses here. And because of that, you get a home team at +200. That's what Toronto FC can be wagered on right now. The draw at +240, or the Philadelphia Union at +120. Over under is 2.5 goals, -122 for over 2.5 goals, +100 for under 2.5 goals. I expected that to be a little higher. I thought there was going to be more goals in this one and that this was going to be kind of an easy play. Me and Scott both have official plays here. Deon, if you had to give a lean, why is it the Philadelphia Union?
Oh, I this game I kind of stepped away from because yes, Philadelphia are very good this year, but also Toronto is just with it being a midweek game, we know how these games go. I could see Toronto getting a draw here or even possibly winning this. Philadelphia have only won 3 matches away in Toronto and have lost 11 and drawn 4. So that even though it's really Philadelphia looks the better side, I don't know if I could pick a winner in this one. I don't think I have a lead in this one.
I was looking at the injury report and I saw Bernadeschi and Thompson are both out on suspension. Then you have Franklin, Gomes, of course, Kerr and Larea out on injury. That's enough for me to make a pro Philadelphia play. But the question is, what pro Philadelphia play? What if this is crazy? What if this is like a 4-2 final score? I just want Philadelphia to find the back of the net twice. That's my official play at plus 112. Philly team total over 1.5. You see that on the graphic there. Scott going about this a little differently, and I absolutely love his play, probably more than my own.
I was caught up in that logic that Deon's talking about, that you're kind of talking about. What if something crazy happens? I looked in Philadelphia, 4 out of the last 5 games, both teams have scored. They don't do a ton of drawing. They do it, draws every now and then. But mostly both teams are scoring in these Philly games. Toronto FC, last couple of games for them have been wild. They're definitely capable of conceding goals, and every now and then, they can score them. And that Philly defense is good, but not infallible. So I took a both teams to score, no draw bet. That's plus 145. I am asking a little something of Toronto here. I need them to score because they do sometimes get shut out. Their offense isn't that good. But I think it's a reasonable ask. And especially if Philly gets up early and they start to run away, then it's like, okay, it's just the consolation goal. You know what I mean? And you're not asking
know what you mean. Yeah, I love that play, and you're getting quite a bit better money than I'm getting mine. Philly team total over 1.5 at plus 112. Both teams to score, no draw, plus 145. I guess if you trust Toronto to score, you take Scott's bet. If you don't, you take my bet. Maybe Insigne will wake up to some magic. They also have Brynhildsen coming back from injury. Looks like he's going to be a projected starter for this one. Deon, final thoughts on Toronto, Philly?
I mean, with Bernadeschi out, I think that if I had to lean between these 2 picks, I would probably lean towards Bob. Unless Insigne does do something spectacular, pretty much by himself. He doesn't really have anybody else, I mean, in my opinion, on this side for Toronto.
I mean, Osorio scored like a banger the other week. Like, that's all you need, though. You don't need Toronto doesn't have to go be that great. Yeah, they just need one.
And this is a very talented roster. Davy Flores, you got Spicer. Corbineau has been playing outside of his mind. There's a lot of talent on this Toronto squad if you look at them, kind of in a bubble. Next up, you have Austin hosting Real Salt Lake. This is one of the first of the 8:30 p.m. matches. Let's take a look at the odds here. Austin plus 120, RSL plus 200. Both teams in the plus money. Over 2.5 goals, minus 136. That is slightly expected more than the under at plus 112. We have one official play. It's Deon. Let's go to Scott first because this is your squad. Now, I assume we know you don't like to bet on RSL. I kind of avoided this one intentionally because I just think there's so many different outcomes that could happen here except scoring goals.
It does seem like a low-scoring affair to me. Everything with Austin is a low-scoring affair, and RSL has been very inconsistent scoring goals. They put up 2 quick ones against Vancouver, and then that was it. That was pretty unexpected to do too, and then unexpected again to just stop. So yeah, low scoring for sure. The thing that would worry me for RSL in this game is that they have been a bit susceptible on set pieces. And with Austin, you bring up the big center backs to occupy RSL center backs, and then Brandon Vasquez, who does he match up against, right? I don't think RSL has another body on the field most of the time that can keep a guy like him from just going up and getting a header the way that Brian White did last week.
Love that analysis. Thank you for that. And we'll throw over to Deon, who's going to give us his and our only official play.
Yeah, so in this one, I tried to look for something that could be pretty easy to get. And I think that I went with RSL, a double chance, and this match to be under 3.5 at plus 108. And I went with this because I think that RSL, even though they have some injuries, I think they have like 4 guys out. I just think that all they need is a draw here. That's all they need. And I definitely see this game being under 3.5. I thought about going with the 2.5, but that was just too risky with midweek games. So with plus money at the under 3.5, had to go with it. Austin aren't even scoring a goal at home, and they're not even allowing a goal. And RSL only scoring a goal and allowing 1.8 on the road. So I think that this is definitely low scoring. And as long as RSL gets the draw, which I think that they are the better side than Austin right now, because Austin's just not scoring, I have to go with RSL in this one. So that's why I went with the double chance and under 3.5.
Now listen to this stat about Austin's travel. Austin's travel this week started at Minnesota, then they went back to Austin, and then they're going to be going to San Diego. I mean, it's not looking good. I mean, they're all over the place. Sorry, Scott.
I was just going to say, go on. Tell us about it. Because if RSL can get anything out of this, as a fan, I will be very happy about it.
Yeah, I think that could be likely. I mean, Austin is just not in great form. I know I can't trust them. They were really acceptable for a very short period of time, and I feel like the sportsbook is kind of reminiscing on that like 5-game span where they won 3 in the very early part of the season, but 3 straight losses, then 3 straight draws, no wins in their last 6. RSL is a weird team. They're going to be fit. They have, form and travel. These things all matter, but why not RSL? And I just think that any team being plus 200 against Austin FC right now is too many. That's too many points.
Yeah, maybe. That Austin team, 10 goals on the season. That's bad. That's really sketchy.
Only takes one to tango. They have 4 1-0 wins this season.
Mm-hmm.
Headed now to Seattle. 6 wins, 5 draws, 4 losses. Hosting San Diego FC, 8 wins, 3 draws, 4 losses. This game is also at 8:30 Lumen Field. When you look at the betting lines here, minus 135 for Seattle Sounders at home, plus 340 for San Diego away. I'm kind of tempted to be that. I think they're too good of a team to get odds like that anytime. Seattle beat Dallas 1-0 last weekend. SDFC beat LA Galaxy 2-1 at home. So they are both in pretty decent form. We have one official play. That's Alex, and you are taking an over on goals. I love it. Let's get Dreyer back on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great matchup, man. This is a Western powerhouse. I'm expecting goals of this game. I know Reyes is out for San Diego. It doesn't really matter. I like the way San Diego was playing. I almost took San Diego straight up. Then I was like, turf, Seattle, midweek. I see goals here. 2.5 minus 140. I know the payout isn't that good, but I'm expecting a lot of goals. I don't have to worry about who wins. Just as long as the ball goes to the back of the net, I'm expecting a 2-1, 3-1 game either way in this game.
And although they're not on the official injury report, it's worth noting that Yamar Gomez and Jackson Reagan were both injured heading into this week. There could be an availability issue or just a full form issue available, which, it is huge from two of the best center backs in Major League Soccer. So, Yeah, I think San Diego FC, if anything, might even have a slight edge at plus 340. It is not an official play,
Yeah,
but I
I
will
thought
be
about it.
wagering plus 340 on San
I
Diego.
thought
You
about
can
it
bet
really.
that.
Now I don't know how Lozano is on turf. That was the one thing I was a little about, but again, I really like the way San Diego is playing right here. I really wanted to take them straight up, and I would definitely think about that plus 300 plus on this game.
Love it. Lozano was just called up by the Mexican national team.
Yes.
All right. LA Galaxy, they are winless. 4 draws, 11 losses. They host the San Jose Earthquakes. 5 wins, 4 draws, and 6 losses. This is a Wednesday 10 o'clock game. Somehow, LA Galaxy find themselves at minus 110, the draw at plus 300, and the away win for San Jose at plus 230. Over 2.5 goals, minus 210. That is one of the highest implied totals we've seen this match day. Under 2.5 goals, plus 172. It's like it's not even an option. There are going to be goals scored here. Who are they going to be scored by? Well, myself, Scott, and Deon have 3 similar opinions, and it's everyone scoring, right?
Everybody scores. I think for San Jose now, they just set the over under at 3.5. I don't think we're even bothering with 2.5 anymore. It's just like, yes, there will be at least 3 goals. I think everybody should score in this game. I really do. The Quakes defense is abominable. They're so bad. But the offense is still quite good, even though Chicho's not there. I'm not really that concerned that they'll find a way to score goals on their own. I do think that LA could win this game, though. Like, this could be the one.
San Jose now has 3 straight draws. They're matching their opponents 3-3, 0-0, and 3-3. I don't like that. It kind of feels like they're playing down or playing up to each occasion. I just want them to go make a statement. LA, they're not going 2, 3, 4 games in a row without scoring a goal. In fact, here are their home goal totals for this season. First match, 0. Second match, 0. Third match, 1. Fourth match, 1. Fifth match, 2. Sixth match, 2. Do you see a trend? 0-0, 1-1, 2-2. And I think that they find the back of the net twice in this one. I really like LA Galaxy to get their first win of the season. They had no travel. They are playing in good form. You see Royce getting on the scoreboard multiple times. So my official play, I'm just taking minus 110 on the LA Galaxy. I know it's crazy, but I think it's going to pay off in this one. Deon, you have a play similar to Scott.
Yeah, I went with the same thing as Scott. I think both teams will score in this match. I think we're going to see goals there in the midweek. Both teams, their defenses are pretty bad. I mean, Galaxy are allowing 2.3 goals on average there at home. So, and the Quakes, we know that they like to score. Yes, Arango is out and they're missing some key players, but I think both teams are scoring this one, but with no draw. I think one team wins or the other. And I'm with you guys. I could see this being the Galaxy's first win of the year.
Yep. Same thought process for me. 3.2 average goals for the Galaxy, 3.9 average total match goals for the Quakes. Goals. Somebody wins. I didn't want to pick a winner, so both teams to score, no draw.
And San Jose is missing their best attacker in Chicho Arango. For the LA Galaxy, they are clear on the injury report. Peck not listed, Paint still not listed. They're both another week away from their injury. If they can find any kind of form, LA Galaxy still has a chance to be bottom of the playoff table. They could sneak it at 8th or 9th, maybe.
They'd have to do some
miracles.
Before
everyone in nowadays. They'll find a way.
Before we move on, I have one other kind of bonus pick. It didn't make my card, but I've been playing with it. I've been playing with those like shots on target props, right? Well, Joseph Martinez, who is the focal point for the Quakes offense when Chicho is not on the field, he is plus 185 to have 2 or more shots on target. In the last game that he started, he had 3 shots on target out of 5. He's generally a very accurate shooter, right? He's kind of fox in the box. He can get shots out of nothing. He doesn't need a whole bunch of like setup to get that to happen. I think that's a play that I really like. My only concern is that the Quakes might not start him because they don't start him every week. He's kind of on and off and on and off. And because he started at the weekend, I would be worried that he wouldn't start this week, and then he won't come in until the 70th minute.
Interesting. I like that. I would be playing like crosses. Like you got like Deon Jones. Like that might be something where I know those markets open up a little closer to game time. Excellent stuff there, Scott. 3 official plays, 2 on both teams to score no draw, and 1 on the LA Galaxy to get their first win this season at -110. Headed now to Portland hosting the Colorado Rapids. Portland is 6 wins, 5 draws, 4 losses. Colorado Rapids, 6-4-5. Very similar record. And, my thinking here was I bet Portland last week to score twice. And watching that offense get going, woof, not a good time. I do not want to play any of that again. -150 if you want to see Portland win in this one, or -140, excuse me. The draw is at +300 in the away. Win for Colorado Rapids is at +320. I have an official play here, and Deon has an official play. I'll let Deon go first.
Yeah, so in this one, these midweek games, so I went with like a little bit of a safety net. I went with Portland double chance and this match to be under 3.5. Yes, it is at a -110, but that is the only thing that I could really find in this match that I liked. Portland's just good. They're at Providence Park against Colorado. Colorado has only won twice there in Portland and have drawn twice and lost 11. So that kind of played into mine. But both of these teams not averaging very much here in the last 5 matches for either side. So that's why I went with the under 3.5. I just think both of these teams don't really score much right now. And Colorado is averaging under a goal on the road. So that 3.5 looked pretty good for that -110.
Now, I want to know how we bet on teams who play normally at altitude in midweek. Like, do we give them a plus because their players are more fit and more ready, or do we give them a minus because they just got winded for 90 minutes over the weekend? I think that travel has a little bit to do with this one. Portland, they're traveling from Orlando to Portland. That's a big way. I just don't see Colorado winning this one. They're only scoring 0.86 goals per game on the road. I had to look that stat up 3 times. I was like, I thought Colorado's been not on the road. Not on the road. They haven't. It's a completely different team. Portland, 1.57 goals per game at home, and they're allowing 1.43 against some really tough opponents. So I went about it the same exact way and landed on the same exact bet. I made my bets in solitude today, so I did not see that. I was very pleasantly surprised. I'm like, hey, Deon, look, that's a smart bet. Came across that handicap quite nicely there. Portland, double chance, under 3.5 goals, -102.
Love that. Cole Bassett, still questionable. Rafael Navarro, still questionable. That really impacts the Rapids' ability to do special things.
Absolutely. Let's move on now. Last match here. You have the Vancouver Whitecaps hosting Minnesota United. This would generally be one of the most exciting matches on the slate. However, you have Vancouver playing this weekend in the CONCACAF final, which is an important game. I think that they're going to be sitting quite a bit of players. On Minnesota's side, one thing I love that Minnesota's been doing, they've been alternating their strikers with all these guys who can attack. And I think that's given them a little bit of freshness that maybe other teams don't have. This team has Oluwase, Longwane, and they're kind of interchanging them each and every week. So I think Minnesota United has a little bit of an edge. Alex, you've been singing about Vancouver Whitecaps all season long. This team is fantastic. Can they drop points here?
They can, but I'm expecting goals in this game. Again, I know them better not to go against Vancouver all year. They have 1 loss on the year. They're home. So now I'm looking, how am I going to do this? Now I like Minnesota. This is a big matchup. I mean, it's a shame this game's midweek game's got to ruin everything. Squad rotation. Vancouver's got the Champions League thing coming. But however, you've noticed in the past when Vancouver's rested some of their guys at home, it doesn't make that much of a difference. They're rolling right now, and they don't have Ryan Gold. I know he's practicing. I think I read just recently he's coming back soon. Once Ryan Gold comes back, I'm going to really look at hit Vancouver a lot. Again, this is a great matchup, just like Bob said with Minnesota. I like the interchangeable forwards they have over there. Surprised they're under the radar. Not a lot of people talk about Minnesota United. Great matchup.
I haven't even said Kelvin Yeboah's name yet.
That's what I'm saying. A great matchup. I'm expecting a goal from both of these sides, and that's why I went with that way in the betting this way, just to be safe.
Love that play. Mine, I'm taking a little differently. Oh, Alex got that bet in before, after I made the graphic, so it's not going to be in the official card. You have the home odds plus 130 for Vancouver, plus 185 for Minnesota. I love the 185 on Minnesota, but Alex is right. Vancouver, every time we're counting them out, they're playing well. So I can't do that, but here's what I can do, and here's my thought. I wanted a pro Minnesota play, but I didn't want the team total on 2 goals. You're getting plus 150, too much risk there. What if this game is close and cagey and, cold on a summer night there? I like Minnesota to win either half. That is my official play. Minnesota to win either half at minus 102. Now, again, this is not the halftime, full time, or first half, second half. If they score more goals than Vancouver in the first half or in the second half, you cash that out. So you're playing 2 45-minute games. Let's say Vancouver goes up 3-0. They're pulling everyone and parking the bus. Maybe Minnesota scores 1 goal in the second half. Vancouver scores 0. Guess what? That 3-1 loss is going to cash out on this play because Minnesota at minus 102 to win either half. Not a play I pull very often, although I was kind of thinking maybe we should be playing bets like this more often. Like in these midweek matches where we expect a team, if you're blown out your opponent in the first half, let them win the second half. You could still win the match. That's exactly kind of what I see going on here. I think Minnesota has a good chance to win the game total. A win will cash because they will have had to win one half or the other. That's how I'm approaching it, and I'd like you to kind of consider doing the same here. 2 official plays. Myself, Minnesota minus 102 to win either half, and Alex, both teams to score yes at minus 135. Again, not on the official scorecard here. Deon, you make predictions each and every week. If you had to pick a team here, because you do, because I'm asking you, which one are you going to pick to win?
So I actually love your pick with the Minnesota. I'm just throwing that out there. I like that pick. But in my predictions, I did go with Vancouver, even though they do have that big game on Saturday. And I love this matchup. Both Alex and you were saying, this is always a good matchup. It sucks that it's midweek because I feel like this is almost like a rivalry. I always think that this is a good matchup, but just because Vancouver has been able to switch in and out whenever they're not starting their starters and having rotation, they still perform well at home. And so I went with Vancouver to win this one. So I would lean Vancouver still, even after both of your persuading both sides there.
I'm okay calling this a derby because Minnesota is basically Canada. Scott?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. It's a tough one. It's a really tough one. If I were coaching Vancouver, I think any player that I needed to perform in that final game, they would not even be in the stadium. You know what I mean? Like stay home, don't dress. But I don't know that Vancouver will do that. I think they will take this at least semi-seriously. And that's the risk, because when they do take anything semi-seriously, they don't lose. So Bob, I like where your head's at. Minnesota to win either half is enough. And I could see this one being kind of a cagey. I could see this one being kind of a cagey game from Vancouver.
Remnant 57 says LA Galaxy and Portland Timbers parlay plus 240. Better you than me. I wouldn't bet that with Scott's money. If you are confident and that is your play, you got to go after it. But on these midweek games, I'm going to avoid that like the plague. I had trouble. I think they're gonna need to take an antacid, even betting LA Galaxy at -110 this weekend. That's gonna get you going there. One official play to add for Alex here, but this is what our board is going to look like. Make sure you head over to Twitter or Blue Sky. Follow me, Bob V Soccer, and you can get the most up-to-date list here, as well as graphics on all of our plays. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can know every time we go live. Hit Spotify now with video. We're doing it. We'll be back in 2 days to talk about the weekend's matchup, guys. Enjoy this. I know we like to complain about betting on it, but that doesn't mean the soccer isn't going to be enjoyable and give us a lot of information for the rest of the season. Keep in mind, no one else is watching midweek. Like, if you stay up till 11 o'clock watching all these games, like, you are getting a head up on a lot of MLS bettors. So we hope you do that, and we hope you join us back on Thursday when we go live with picks for the weekend, guys. Thank you for being here. Scott, Deon, Alex, I'm Bob. Have a great week.